Sometimes I wonder if I have to let it, buffer out because of the glitch. But nobody seems to be glitching now. So, uh, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts and Broncos Club here. Uh, you know, we ruffled some feathers. We showed video, and it seemed to really upset feel-good fans, the ones that are, really in tune with sports talk radio. And I just want to give this to convey my feelings of hurting their feelings. Is something like this. I love it. Kolby, yeah, you love that. I know. Hey, you do know that I was insistent on getting you to put together some film because these people were just so shocked. Oh my God, Draymond Jones! How could you possibly ever talk about him? I don't. Oh, and well, show the video, and the next thing you know, we're the most hated organization on the planet, and it seems to me that the hate is misplaced. We're going to get into the topics here, but it seems to me that these are the same people that have cheerled us to 5-11. Every move, every single move. It's going back to this 5-11 culture, and how dare us be upset that we have this 5-11 culture, and by the same people who've led us here week after week. Now I'm going to go just really quick over the rundown here.
Okay.
This is Too Much Elway clouding Paton's Judgement edition. We're going to talk about Broncos front office deflating Kolby here, Coach K9. And yeah, is Paton a yes man? Paton saying, quote, looking at getting a defensive lineman in free agent. The delusion, the cancer culture, which we talked about, the promotion of instability and where all that comes from. We'll talk about, I'm telling you, we got so much we could probably dedicate an entire show to each subject matter. But we got Darby, Harris, contracts, Von Miller, Jackson, Lindsay. We'll tie in Lindsay with Gordon and Boone. The stupidity, this is me, this is the one I added, the stupidity of quarterback competition, okay? We would give you Jerry Jeudy for Deshaun Watson, the Deshaun Watson conversation, that nonsense. And I added this one too at the end. I said, did Driskel voice his opinion on the true state of the Broncos O-line, and did that put him into the doghouse? Okay. So.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just got something on my alerts. Denver Broncos signed cornerback Kyle Fuller to a 1-year, $9.5 million deal.
So we got to build from the outside in, right?
Yeah.
Outside in.
Yeah.
Kyle Fuller, are you even surprised about that? Does that even?
No.
So here's what.
They're going to go quarterback at 9.
Yeah. Yes, that's what it. Yeah. My question is, okay, let me put it this way. I'm going to make this statement. The Denver Bronco organization will not have a real franchise, a real team. They won't have a threatening team until they stop taking dictation from sports talk radio. When sports talk radio stops being the GM, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe Elway is floating out talking points to sports talk radio. Either way, until this nonsense from Dove Valley ends, the Broncos, and I'm saying it, the Broncos will never be a Super Bowl contending team. They, like I said last year, I even said last year, they could have made it to the playoffs had they got if everything would have just went right for them. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about a happy to be there, feel good Friday, Oakley dokley Stokely, we're 9-7, hooray. We're talking about being a real team, not a playoff pretending team, or a Super Bowl pretending team. So to start off with the front office has you butthurt. Me too, but give us a tell us how you feel about the organization and what they're doing.
They're a joke. And the reason I say that is because I love Darby the player. You were the first person to say his name a year ago, and we're a year late in this. You could have got him last year on a 1-year prove it deal, and then you could have built from there. But we had to spend tens of millions of dollars on a guy that's injury prone. I love Ronald Darby the player. I don't like the contract. There's a difference. You bring in Mike Boone, who I have no idea who this guy is. 3rd string running back in Minnesota. Could be a good special teams player, but we need more than just Mike Boone on special teams, ladies and gentlemen. Just because you got Mike Boone doesn't mean all your special teams mistakes are.
Whoa. Time out. Sports Talk Radio sold him to us. They came and they did their job. They got their talking points, and they sold Boone on us. Again, it's another sales job by Sports Talk Radio. Forget Lindsay. Now we'll talk ourselves. Sports Talk Radio.
I got a lot to say about that too. I got a lot to say about that, but
we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that.
Talking to our point, you pay 3 years, $27 million to a defensive end who is he going to make Draymond Jones better? I don't think so. All you guys want Draymond Jones to be this legit Aaron Donald. People are comparing him to Malik Jackson here, and he's not Malik Jackson. So I just want to get out there right now.
He's not even Solomon Thomas.
No, that's what we got. Guess where he went? He went to the Raiders because they actually have a clue on who this guy is, and I guarantee he'll have a good year. He's on a 1-year prove-it deal, and then you bring back.
Yeah. No, go ahead. No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
You bring back Justin Simmons, the highest paid safety in the NFL, which I was totally worried about that we would do this. I was right. I've been right this whole time on Justin Simmons. I'm going to pat myself on the back because I said this guy's a guy that's top 5 at his position. Top 10, top 15, okay.
Now he's number 1 paid.
Yeah, he transforms our defense.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Simmons the guy that they were dogging him last year because he was gold bricking or whatever he was doing? He wasn't playing up to snuff, and even Sports Talk Radio was convinced that he was. But now he had he was serviceable. He wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. He was serviceable.
Yep.
Now we're going to give him the big giant contract that put some actual names out there who are actually worthy of something like that that's playing right now.
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, does he compare to that at all?
Let me think here because there's 31 other teams. Tyrann Mathieu, I would say Marcus Williams is worthy of that. I think he's a way better player than Justin Simmons.
I know it's incredible. Here's okay. We'll get into that too. I'm going to get into. I want to go one at a time here. Anything else? Is there anything else?
And then you see, this is what we were worried about. They're building from the outside in. Sheldon Rankins is still out there unsigned. You can probably get him on a 1-year contract cheap. But nope, we don't need to know about him. I wanted Solomon Thomas. He goes to the Raiders. For all the hate I give the Raiders, they got rid of Rodney Hudson. They got rid of their O-line. But you know what? They went out and got Yannick Ngakoue, a guy that you mentioned. I like him. His mindset, you got to get him fixed there. But then you got Solomon Thomas, a guy I was pounding the table for, and I think is a lot better than Draymond Jones. So that's all I have to say about that. You pay Justin Simmons, the top safety. Budda Baker's better than him. Marcus Williams, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. Those guys transform their defenses. I know that's only 3 because if I show 5 videos of film, I get hated. But Mika Fitzpatrick is better than him, the guy from the Steelers. I think he's way better than him. And then you got the guy from the Chargers when he's healthy, Derwin James Jr., who everybody has forgot about from Florida State, who I would take over him. He's like your Cam Chancellor. Go ahead.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So we package that all up here. I'm going to go through this list again because it's important. Okay. Too much Elway. Okay, I'm going to call this the too much Elway clouding Paton's judgment. And has Paton become a yes man? I made a video on this long ago. I made a video about Elway looking for a yes man. Is that what we see now? Let me just say this. This whole Justin Simmons thing is back to what has been the Broncos' problem. Overpaying people that are marginal, are serviceable, paying those people, letting impact players go. Now, am I the only person that has brought this problem up with the Broncos? This culture. Does this culture not center around all the sports talk radio, the talking points, and this pounding the table to keep this culture going like this? The same culture that brought us 5-11, right? So I'm saying I think the hate is misdirected this direction.
Yes.
I think that hate needs to go and say, look in the mirror, admit you're a 5-11 team. You will never be anything more than 5-11 or just happy to be 9-7. We'll take our one playoff appearance and get killed. That's the culture you want. Then yes, hate us all you want, please, by all means. We're trying to make this a legitimate Pat Bowlen-esque culture again. So, is George Paton an Elway yes man? Well, Paton himself said Paton said himself he believes in building from the the inside out. He said, quote, by one of the Broncos beat reporters, he said that Paton told him that he wanted to bring another defensive lineman in from free agency. He told him that. Apparently, he was told he can't do that.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah, I am so, yes, exactly. We are so shocked. We know that this line cannot get penetration. Okay, we know that.
Nope.
And the sacks that you brought up, and here's the thing, too.
They're coverage sacks.
They don't know what that is. Because here, let me explain this to you. All they hear is sacks, and it echoes back and forth, sack. If you want to bore a feel-good fan, if you want to bore him, talk about football from a technical point of view. They will fall asleep in their chair. They don't want to hear it. They want to talk about quarterbacks all day and how, whoever the latest quarterback in the draft is, or some free agent out there we'll talk about Deshaun Watson, That's it's like sugar plums dancing in their heads, okay? So, you know what we really should do, me and you, we're guilty of this, me and you, is that we're guilty of getting frustrated, where we should just know, if you want a channel that makes money, talk about quarterbacks, pump up players like Simmons who are marginal, who are serviceable but not great. Pump them all up, make everybody feel good. Show highlight reels, okay? Show highlight reels and don't actually get into critical breakdowns, okay? Show highlight reels. That's what sells. That'll get you your sponsors. People will buy your merch, okay?
And you look at these channels to say, "Oh, we're going to break film down," but they don't. Except for a few outlets like that, like the Cody Rourke of the world.
Do that. That is exactly why I had you do that, because it is so disingenuous to sit there and say that you've got a film study. You show no film. You just sit there and cheerlead with no film to back it up. Okay. And you know what? And the fact that you have so many views and very few people will hold you accountable tells you what we're dealing with here. And we're 5-11, and it's the cancer culture. I'm trying to define for you what a cancer culture is in an organization, in its own fan base. We have sports talk radio and I want to bring all this all the way back to the time when John Elway was trying to figure out the coaching. He got rid of Phillips. He brings in Case Keenum and hires Vance Joseph, right? Essentially, right? And his offensive coordinator is a guy that
it's Bill Musgrave. It was Bill Musgrave.
Runs more of what I would call the Patriot more of a pocket quarterback type West Coast system. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you bring in somebody like Case Keenum, and you know what? I had no problem with Case Keenum.
Me either.
But you never put him in the system, which is supposed to be the Kubiak.
It's the West Coast zone running scheme. It's basically it's a Mike Shanahan as
the Shanahan, yes. So you don't know what you're even running. You don't even know what you're doing. You don't have a system down. You get quarterbacks that don't fit a system. And this was actually brought up by beat reporters at the Sports Talk Radio. Okay, they were talking about all this. We've been pounding the table about this for a long time. So yeah, you have mismatches going on because as an organization, and here's the thing: Sports Talk Radio. Who wanted Joe Flacco? This came from Sports Talk Radio. Are they the GM? Is Sports Talk Radio the GM of this organization? I'm asking you.
No.
Are they the GM? Well, they act like it because they demanded that we got Flacco. So what does the front office do? They get Flacco.
They're getting talking points from Elway. That's basically it. If you guys are so stupid enough to not to understand this, I don't know what world you're living in. You must be living under a rock. No disrespect to anybody out there, but to attack us who provide film, have a GM section channel. Sorry, my dog's in the left-hand corner here, but I'm just saying, like, you got to be freaking kidding me here. Okay, this isn't rocket science. This is common sense stuff. And just to elevate your point here. Okay, go watch the Shelby Harris press conference. I sent you the link to this. He didn't even mention Elway because the players don't want to play for Elway. Okay, this correlates to why players have left over the years. Okay, this is why
there's a lot.
TP Ward's gone.
There is a lot to that. There is a lot to that statement.
Yeah.
And it didn't come from us. We've been listening to it. The guy that breaks down all the feel-good film, the highlight reel, he had a former Bronco player, and he talked about all this. He talked about all this and how people are walking around scratching their heads like, why is he getting all this money? Why are they letting this person go? Well, we'll get into that, too, when we talk about Lindsay, Von Miller, all this. So let me go and hit the so George Paton, anyway, we feel is definitely turned into the yes. Well, I want to go back to that, too, because, sorry, I'm pushing buttons here. I shouldn't be. Like an old man. Anyway, so at any rate, so you have, you get in Vance Joseph because you wanted to put that barrier in front of you so you don't get the heat, right? So that went down the tubes. Now you are in the spotlight. Oh, this is what I wanted to say because when all I hear from Sports Talk Radio, it's Fangio. He's the one that wanted to get rid of the offensive coordinator. He wanted to get rid of him. Wait a second. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it Elway who wanted to go Kansas City style? Wasn't that Elway was just I'm going to get these receivers. Now we're going to be Kansas City. We got receivers, but forget all the other team building.
We're going to go vertical.
Yeah, go vertical. Okay, it wasn't Vance. Well, okay, we could say that maybe Fangio signed off on it, but who pushed it? It was Elway because he wanted to be the Kansas City Chiefs. That's why we got rid of Scangarello. That's the only reason we got rid of it. And nobody at Sports Talk Radio has the guts or the balls to say that. To say Elway that was Elway-centric.
It's all Fangio's fault.
Yeah, everything's Fangio's fault. So now we got Paton now putting it. I really hope Elway leaves this organization. He's
done. I'm done with him. Okay. Can I ask you something about how it correlates to the free agent aspect of it? Didn't those look like Elway moves to you?
Yes.
The money that they paid him?
Well, that's what we've been talking about. That hasn't changed. That overpaying, the middle of the road, getting rid of impact players is still going on in this organization.
We like Darby. We love Darby. Okay, you were the first person. We love Darby. I love Darby as a player.
We're going to get into each individual, but what I'm trying to get is this Elway meddling issue.
The scout's great here. The pro personnel scouting. Again, we can correlate that to Elway. They're all yes men. Yes, Mr. Elway. Yeah, all the scouts are yes men. It's not just Paton. It's all the pro personnel scouts and the scouting department.
STR, it has been going on and on, like I said, about getting rid of the OC. and being a Fangio when we know, again, Elway wanted the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, so he gets Locke and changes again, just like he did Case Keenum, changes gears. Okay, and now they're putting out. Oh, we got to get a new core. We're done. We're going to kill another one.
Trey Lance. Yeah, dude, Trey Lance.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if Trey Lance is again another stupid dumbass move. But okay, let's keep on topic here. So, okay, talking about your deflation, is Paton a yes man? And I did say that Paton did say to a beat reporter that he's looking for a defensive line. I want to get into this. If Draymond Jones was all that, why would Paton tell a beat reporter for the Denver Broncos that he would like to get another top defensive lineman, because he goes in at 4:00 in the morning and starts, or 5, whatever, and starts breaking footage down. Same footage we've seen and we've been breaking down all season, where there's no penetration by the Denver, no push into the quarterback's face by this team. Now we'll get into Von Miller and all that in the contract in a minute, but we're talking about, and in no way is Draymond Jones even in the same universe as Malik Jackson. No. Okay, not even in the same universe.
Stop with that Aaron Donald comparison.
Oh, stop. Yeah. Oh, I like how they say.
Oh, you can show clips. You can show clips of that with Aaron Donald. Oh. Like, are you fucking stupid? Sorry for my language, but my lord. Like, stop comparing Draymond Jones to Aaron frickin' Donald, who has.
And then blaming us when they're doing it. Well, you're bringing up Aaron Donald. We didn't bring him up. You did, you stupid jack.
He's a jackass and he's a crackhead, so.
Well, I know. So, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I just said this stupidity is just not even worth replying.
You have a difference of opinion. They vindicate you for it.
Yeah, well,
5 videos isn't enough. Okay, can I just address this real quick in the 5 videos? We can go back on topic.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching how fast they were getting the ball out quickly.
It didn't matter.
Watching the offense and defensive line, I've admitted this to you thousands of times. I wasn't focused on the quarterback. I was focusing on the penetration aspect and their technique aspects of the player. That is Draymond Jones. So before you get on my ass saying that, oh, well, you don't know film. Well, at least I'm providing it for you, you jackasses.
Well, here's the thing. We had a couple fans that they know what's going on. Okay, there's two of them. There's a couple of them that said, you're right, that getting rid of the ball had nothing to do with what we're looking at, because this is the bottom line is he didn't have to. He didn't have to. If they were relying on Draymond Jones to sack the quarterback, he would have had several seconds to make that throw. It didn't matter. That's what the film was showing. And actually, because he got rid of the ball so fast, it made Draymond Jones actually look worse, because he got taken out so fast, so far away, so quickly. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing what you showed.
And you know what? Can I expand on your point? We're talking about how the ball. Okay, if he was so feared, why weren't they double teaming him? When they're double teaming Aaron Donald, when they're triple teaming Von Miller, who is not a defensive lineman, we'll get that in a few. But you have all these guys.
Well, Malik
Jackson too.
Malik Jackson got double teamed.
But he was still.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No, I know. So I just wanted to bring up the point that the beat reporter reported that Paton wanted to go and get a defense. So we obviously are in a difference of opinion of what actually our GM is saying and what we're actually seeing unfold. He said he wanted to pick a defensive lineman up for good reason in the free agency. That didn't happen. Obviously, he was overruled. Okay?
I'm so shocked. Like we said.
I know. But again, STR won't even bring it up. It was the reporter said it on Sports Talk Radio, the beat reporter. But that won't be brought up by Talking Point Radio, okay?
Nope. It'll just get pushed to the side like everything else.
Get pushed to the side. Okay, so there it is. There's George Paton talking about getting a defensive lineman. Now, we talk about the delusion. Okay, well, this whole conversation will be about delusion, cancer culture, the promotion of instability. Now, I just want to say something really quick. When I was talking about going all the way back to the Wade Phillips, bringing in Vance, overpaying players that are marginal, letting impact players go. This is the 5-11 culture of instability we have continued to see, and we're continuing to see now. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong.
It's just more of the same, okay? So we got that. Go to the next one. Darby. Darby's next. We're going to talk about Darby.
I'll let you talk about him. I'll let you do it because you're the first person to bring it up in the sports community.
I was the only person to bring it up.
Only one.
And this goes back to Sports Talk Radio. Sports Talk Radio says, oh, there wasn't anybody else. Boy. And then the feel-good fans are, because they don't know what they're talking about. I'm sitting there, Darby, okay? Because I felt his trend was trending upward. He was becoming less injured, less injury prone from the seasons past. Mm-hmm. I felt it was worth, and this goes to Hooker, what we talked about Hooker. You know, it's the same concept. So don't listen to me. Listen to Sports Talk Radio. They're the GM. They're so brilliant. We're 5-11, okay? So we get Darby last year at this time. He's blowing the. You saw the film breakdown. That could have been on. He could have been on the Broncos doing that. Now he's here. He's already here doing that. You don't have to spend that much money because he's already here. And if he's healthy, sure, you could say he's worth that amount. But because he's here, you don't have to put out a big contract for him. He's already here.
Pay for this guy.
Yeah, you know, he shows a little appreciation. You pay. You know, I believe he should be paid.
Oh,
but not the King's
absolutely. But yeah, okay. So okay, let's go back to the point where the intro to this topic here. You said that we could have had a Darby light, and we're going to talk about the trend aspect of his injuries. Okay, he played all the snaps last year. That's what we're talking about here. How many games did AJ Boye play? He had a 4-game suspension, right? I don't think a lot of people remember that. Okay, he was the Robin to Batman to Jalen Ramsey. We both brought this up in videos. But to go back to the Darby point, you could have him on a 1-year deal. He probably would have took less to stay here if he was here last year.
I know.
You didn't have to go out and overspend for him. You could have went out and got him on a 1-year contract like the Washington football team, Washington Redskins. Oh man, I'm such a racist. But I'm just saying, like, who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? You could have got Darby on a 1-year prove-it deal like the Washington Redskins, and then you could have been like, okay, you know what? He's worthy of that money. We don't have to pay $10 million that you could have with the Sheldon Rankins and a Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, it's you know, I mean, you could have got Sheldon Rankin, I think, if you really wanted to go out and get him. That would have been our choice. He was our primary choice.
He was our Jordan Phillips.
Yeah, and my friend, close friend's a Saints fan, and he was saying that he said that definitely would. He said he'd make anybody's defensive line better.
Oh yeah, but we're hot takes.
We got
here.
Draymond Jones. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Draymond Jones, Shelby Harris. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. So we got Darby. Now we're gonna go to Shelby Harris. Okay.
Didn't even mention Elway in his press conference.
Didn't mention Elway in the press conference. But here's the thing. I've never said that I wouldn't sign Harris. Never said I wouldn't sign him. I wouldn't give him the king's ransom that he got. Okay. But I always said that Harris needed to have somebody next to him, like a Rankins, a Sheldon Rankins next to him. That's what we really needed to do.
Yes.
Of course, you know, we didn't. And this is going to, and they already, you know what they're talking at sport, the GMs over at Sports Talk Radio are saying, well, we can address linebacking in the draft. And what they mean by that is 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. You know, again,
because we all know where they're going to go in the 1st round. It's going to be quarterback. Okay,
yeah,
that's why they're saying 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round. That's why they're saying it.
Well, Sports Talk Radio is the GM. They're the GM of the teams. Yep. Feel good
fans.
They get
their talking points no way.
Yeah, the same people that led us to 5-11. They're still in charge. Yep. That's the culture that has to go. So you're right. So yeah, they're not going to get Collins. I mean, once in a generation. I mean, linebacker in this today's NFL where you need coverage linebackers more.
We saw it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we didn't see. We just saw Brady. That's all we saw. We just saw Brady. Quarterback.
This correlates to the Justin Simmons and Shelby Harrison because we're on that topic right now. Each individual player, but this correlate. Oh, the locker room was watching. Yeah, they were. They were watching when we let Malik Jackson go. They were watching when we let Danny Trevathan go. T.J. Ward, Aqib Talib, all these players, all the dogs that Aqib. That's what.
It's still going on. They let Lindsay go. Because
I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that in a minute.
Yeah. What did Sports Talk Radio say? Okay, let's get into Lindsay. What did Sports Talk Radio say? They said we got to give that money to Simmons. We got to make that happen because they're the GM. Sports Talk Radio, they're the GM. What they say, it's got to get done. So Simmons has got to get that money. But let's let an actual impact player do what we've been doing ever since Elway took over this ship from Pat Bowlen.
He's been your best offensive player since Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Phil Lindsay's been your best offensive player since Peyton Manning, and Elway, and I'm going in now. Elway, you are such an idiot. You let this guy, a guy who did everything. You said that you would draft him number 1. You screwed him over in the draft. You should have paid him last year. And you screwed him. He is your best. And this is what I've been hearing from people. Well, he runs into his blockers. Really? I'm going to send the film again because what did I say? He sets the guard. He sets the offensive line up for him to go through the hole and get those 10 to 20 yard runs. He sets up his blockers. Do you see Gordon doing that?
It took him 10 weeks. It took Gordon 10 weeks to do that.
Lindsay was doing it before Gordon started doing it. Oh yeah. Where do you think Gordon got it? From Philip Lindsay.
Let me ask you this. Now, since we actually show film during the season.
No, it's only 5 videos, remember? We are highlight reel films. They're only highlight. Remember, we got to say this.
Okay. During the season, we showed the footage where the running backs were getting taken out of the blocking scheme, right?
Yep.
We show where Gordon wasn't being patient, right? We kept showing that. Then finally. And then we said what they need to do is pull these guards.
I was the first person to say that.
Oh, no, Sports Talk Radio took the credit for that.
I know they did because they're
idiots.
Even though
we showed film. We are the only ones that'll do it. We showed film. Okay, we showed film of it. Then they finally, because we were calling them out, I believe, we were calling them out, so they finally kept the blocking back in, and they finally started to make that pull those guards. And Gordon, they finally got him to settle down. Week 10, finally got him to settle down.
10 weeks.
10 weeks. This guy was this was a bust in my opinion.
Oh, Melvin Gordon, I hate Mo. I was never a big fan of this signing. Okay, he got drunk. I mean, okay, this is also part of the cancel culture thing. It's every week. It's a clown shit.
Yeah,
it's a clown show of a guy who Melvin Gordon is driving 100 into a 40. What was it, a 25 or whatever? Oh, I only had 1 beer, but he admitted he had more than that. Okay, and this guy's your top running back. Yet you had a guy, Philip Lindsay, who never got in trouble, who came to work, bust his ass, and he can't catch, he can't pass block. Who cares? He can catch. Go watch the college film.
Well, now he's gonna do all this for somebody else now, and it's gonna be the same thing. And STR was trying to defend this all. Oh well, you can't talk about Shane Ray and Shaq Barrett and all these, Malik Jackson. You can't talk. They say, yeah, we can. You need to be called out, Sports Talk Radio.
No, I'm calling him out right now. You Mike Boone. Mike Boone's your Philip Lindsay. Really, Mike Boone. Who the heck? He's not Philip Lindsay.
Well, before we get into Boone, I wanted to say this. You're talking about Philip Lindsay, right? Yes. You're talking about him busting his ass, right?
Yes.
All this. Don't you think Do you think maybe I'm off? I'm going out on a limb here.
Okay.
But do you think maybe the locker room sees that too?
Yes. Yes.
For all this talk about what the locker room sees, there's this, and then let's go into Von Miller here.
Yes.
All, the Broncos, and I understand it's what organizations do. Excuse me. They try to say, well, pay you less. That's what they do. They tried that, and they said, no, that's not going to work. And he says, hey, I want to be a Bronco for life.
Yeah.
Tell me. So all they did was extend it. They just picked up that additional year, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
So that's about the extent of it. So we figure this is it's either do or die for Elway. Again, maybe his ego, he pays him just to save face. I don't know. But
so done.
But this is the last gasp. It looked like to get Von Miller.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The whole he's done. Von Miller's leaving after this year. Can we please get this over with now? We might just get a year ahead of this already. Von Miller's done. Von Miller's done here. Okay.
After this last year.
Yep.
That would be highly It would be highly unlikely that he'd show up.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay, so that's our Von Miller and Kareem Jackson.
I'll let you take this because you were the first person to say to cut him.
Oh, before I get into Kareem Jackson, then let me talk about Boone. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. If we're just talking about Boone itself, if that was the only issue, it wouldn't matter. No. But we're talking about we did everything we could to get Lindsay out of here. A guy who did like you said, best player since Peyton Manning, right?
Best offensive player.
What did we for all that? What did we show him? The door, right?
Yep. Now he's with the Houston Texans.
He's with the Houston Texans? Holy shit! I'm starting to get Deshaun Watson. I'm starting to.
We can correlate to that, the Deshaun Watson topic later on.
What was the Lindsay deal?
It's a 1 year, $2.5 million deal.
Okay.
Well, we can't give him that. Like, oh God, it's frustrating.
Did they give Boone $2 million?
They gave him a 2-year contract. Let me look it up real quick.
I thought it was $2 million overall. Maybe it's $1 million per. So while you're looking up that, Kareem Jackson.
So Mike Boone got a 2-year deal, $2.6 million.
Yes. So basically, you got Boone in replace of Philip Lindsay, right?
Because they didn't like Lindsay because Lindsay proved Elway wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Now, who was saying this all along that Lindsay, I have a video. It says, you obviously hate Lindsay. I made a video about it. So anyway.
Yeah.
Sports talk radios, they're never gonna admit to it. They're just gonna talk you out of Lindsay. They're gonna talk you out of Lindsay. So
sorry.
That's funny. So yes. So I guess Kareem Jackson, he needed to go. So, but I guess we cleared the way so that they could, I guess, overpay some players. And we're building from the outside in.
Because that's the new NFL, right?
Well, that's Broncos theory is what it is. When everybody else is doing it the other way.
Cleveland Browns 2.0.
Oh, or my friend said, you guys are like the old Saints. Okay, I want to talk about the stupidity of quarterback competition. Now, this goes to this. We need more quarterbacks in the room. We need more quarterbacks in the room. That's what. If we expand that, if we come out here.
Watch TV there.
Okay. Well, do you need to say something?
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just talking to her.
Oh, okay. If we get out of this, this is the conversation outside of the quarterback competition.
Yeah.
We're not the Saints, okay, who lost Breeze, okay? Where the rest of the team's intact, right? Now, you out there think your team's intact. You think the Broncos are intact. They aren't, okay? Let's not. And here's the thing. The Broncos, through STR being the general manager, the real general manager is STR, okay? They're saying that they've given up on Locke. They'll tell you out of the other side of their mouth that, oh, no, we still need to give them a chance. No, they have given up on him. So here's the stupidity of the quarterback competition when you're developing a quarterback. If you're developing a quarterback, why would you want to distract your quarterback that you're trying to develop with a competition? And let's say they bring in who could they get from Chicago? What's that? Mitch Trubisky?
He went to the Buffalo Bills.
That's funny. We'll just say a Minshew then, a Gardner Minshew, right? Just throw that one in there. Now say they go get Trey Lance, but throw him in there. Are you doing any of these quarterbacks a service? Because
no.
It's like these people, I'm telling you, they're not old enough to know. Back in this is 60s, 70s, ridiculous football where you have Craig Morton and you got Dandy Don Meredith, okay, in the Dallas situation. So you put Craig Morton out there, and he gets booed because he threw an interception. Okay, coach, come on. Then you put Dandy Don Meredith out there. Then he throws an interception. And you just keep this stupidity going. You're not developing. You're not developing a quarterback, okay? You're just not. Why put these distractions out there? You're not helping Gardner Minshew. You're not helping Trey Lance. Because that guy's going to be out there, well, if I don't do good, then Locke's going to take my place. It's stupid. Why not just stop? Just stop. Why not do this? Why not, give your guy you're trying to develop every resource you can? Okay? Don't distract him. Just ensure him that he's the man. He's got to concentrate. You got a guy that's like Harris. He's willing to go in. He's willing to bust ass. He's willing to do all this for you. I mean, are you going to Philip Lindsay him? Are you going to just crap all over him?
They've already crapped on Locke.
Does the locker room not see that too?
Yes, they see it.
And remember how the way Von Miller treated Oakley Dokley Stokely? Hey, he did not want nothing to do with that guy. And I don't blame him. Because I'm getting tired of listening to their crap myself. I mean, they're taking this team and they're trashing this team out. They're because everything they say, we got to do it. We got to do everything they say, and we're 5-11 for it too. By the way, this goes way back.
No, we're not 5-11. We're 10-6, and we're going to the playoffs. So we're going to lose in the first round. That's our team.
You're giving them 10-6.
No.
Okay, so
I'm sports talk radio though.
Yeah, so let's muddle up the quarterback position. And that's what they were talking about. Now we go into the Cleveland Brown culture. Okay, the village idiot D-Mac and then James Marilat were like two jesters in a courtyard, going on and on that you just got to keep drafting quarterback, like it's the Cleveland Browns or the old Oakland Raiders or the old Saints, as my friend was saying. We got to be those losing organization and we get some shit to stick on the wall. That's how they plan. That's where all this is coming from. And people can't understand why we're 5-11. It's all the quarterback. It has to be all the quarterback. It's just you just want to pound your head up against a wall.
I've been pounding my head against the wall for 5, 6, 7 years. It's ridiculous.
So what's your take on bringing in quarterbacks for a quarterback competition?
I think it's stupid. I think it's ignorant. I think it's an organization that doesn't have an owner and doesn't have leadership. And when you don't have leadership and you don't have an owner, and you have John Elway, who's an egotistical maniac who only cares about his visions and not George Payton's, the puppet yes man. And this will correlate into the quarterback thing. When you are sitting up there and telling everybody that quarterbacks in play at 9, 90% of the time, you are either having a team trying to jump you or you're going to take a quarterback yourself. Okay? We are taking Trey Lance at 9. Okay, we're not taking the Collins guy who I watched film on and I'm a big fan of. I want Micah Parsons, Rashawn Slater, okay? But no. With the quarterback thing, we're going to get Trey Lance. We'll probably trade for Gardner Minshew, and this is going to be just all three of you guys battle it out. It's going to be the same old crap with the Paxton Lynch, Trevor Siemian bullshit.
Yeah, here we go again. You'd think Elway would learn.
No, he doesn't.
You think Elway would learn.
Nope.
So, it hasn't happened yet, but all indications look like that's where it's going. Because GM STR says that the GM called STR, they said we got to draft a quarterback. It's got to be.
Can I ask you this with the whole Trey Lance thing that correlates to the Drew Lock thing? So if he doesn't have a good year, STR, are you going to shit on Trey Lance too? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to shit on Trey Lance.
That's what they talked about. They even admitted they were going to do that. STR admitted they would do that. And shit on the next guy. And shit on the next guy.
Starting his full start. Well, he's been in the league for 3 years. So this is his first year starting. And look at what kind of a year it was too. You know what? For all the crap that people give Drew Lock, and I'm tired of talking about the quarterback. But you know what? Down the stretch after the Dolphins game, Drew Lock actually got a whole lot better than he was doing. Okay, for all the crap that people like to give him, he actually got better after the Dolphins game because they did an offense that relates to his strengths. And this whole dumbing down the playbook thing, that's what they did with Brady.
They did that with Brady. Absolutely.
But nobody will ever bring that up.
Well, his coaches do.
Never bring that up.
Brady's coaches do. That's how I heard all about that, how they were just laughing like.
But it's not okay for Drew Lock. It's not okay for Drew Lock. We got to find the next John Elway. Remember, we got to find the next Peyton Manning. Yeah, there's going to be none of those players ever.
No. It's
it's bullshit.
Yeah, forget it. Well, I mean, look how long, like my friend said, look how long it took the Saints to go from Archie Manning to Drew Brees. That's your model. If
that's the culture we're at now. We're at the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints of the 80s and 70s and whatever 90s. It's ridiculous. The Raiders of the early 2000s.
Yeah. No, that's the culture. They're really, again, it's cancer. They're cancer. Now I'm going to talk about Deshaun Watson in just a minute, but I want to talk about Driskel really quick. It always seemed odd to me because you remember I put that film together and I was watching and Driskel, considering the position he was put in and considering he was playing an actual Super Bowl contending team, not a fake Super Bowl, but an actual Super Bowl contending team with a horrible offensive line. The guy was running for his life, and he kept the Broncos in that game up against everything. Never played with the starters or any of that stuff. And I thought, what did he do to deserve this lashing he was getting? And it dawned on me, and it just dawned on me later, I thought he must have said something about the offensive line, because I'm telling you, the front office, they are convinced their offensive line is like one of the best. And now they got Clayton like laughing.
I see an article.
Yeah, Clayton has got to be laughing to himself as he's writing this. Like they're going to eat this stuff up. I would say Clayton is not a Bronco fans, if he's writing that stuff, unless he just wants to make Elway feel good. Peter King is an Elway or buddy, so he says garbage too.
Same with Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Driskel must have said something about the offensive line because it was horrible. I mean, he got Locke killed in that game.
Elijah Wilkinson, who they haven't re-signed yet. This correlates to the offensive line and the Jeff Driskel thing. I just got a notification about 30 minutes before our podcast that he's visiting the Oakland Raiders. So Elijah Wilkinson, everybody's saying that he's a right tackle. He's not even going to be here next year. Like, oh my! I think my film study did something to this guy.
So yeah, it's just a circus here.
Sorry to go off topic, but I thought it might correlate to the whole Jeff
Offensive
Driskel.
line.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the offensive line is.
How is this offensive line top 10?
Well, they're delusional. Okay, we've shown.
Cushenberry? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've shown. They're delusional, and now they want to just start over with some other quarterback. Oh man, well,
I can't wait till the draft. They draft Trey Lance, I'm losing I'm losing it. I'm gonna lose it. They draft Trey Lance, I'm done. I'm done. This is my last gasp. I'm not. I can't believe.
Well, I'm the opposite of you. If they don't draft Trey Lance, I will be shocked. I'll be so shocked if they don't draft him.
But you think about it, and this we can talk about the Deshaun Watson thing. You sit there and you think about it. They have been pining for quarterback at 9. George Payton said it itself in the press conference with Darby and Boone. The beat report has asked him flat out blank, is a quarterback there for 9? And he said yes. He literally said, oh yeah, quarterback's an option at 9. Then why did he go to Trey Lance's pro day? And he also said, I'm going to go to all the other quarterbacks' pro days. He didn't go to Trevor Lawrence, but I'm just saying, like, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. You really think that he's not going to take a quarterback at 9? Because who's going to tell him to? Elway. He's an Elway puppet.
Well, they're going to take, I told you why they're going to take Trey Lance. Because somebody wrote up, and then somebody else wrote up. They all started doing this. Talking in the bubble.
Focus did? Yeah, they sure did.
Saying that he's Josh Allen, see? And, that's and me and you, we put a video together. Hey, Elway, have you heard of this guy?
Got a lot of views.
Yes. And you think maybe that got to Elway?
Oh, yeah, it had to.
So he's going to show everybody else, especially us. I'm going to get Josh Allen, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is not Josh Allen, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what you say. Just because he went to North Dakota State.
I mean,
It's not even. If he went to like the Patriots or something, I could see him turning to a John Elway or a Josh Allen type. But he is not. If he comes to Denver, he's going to be the next Paxton Lynch.
No, he's going to be the next victim. He's going to be the next.
Yeah, exactly.
You can make
bullshit.
You could make this into like where all the teenagers, they go into the house, they all get chopped up. They're all quarterbacks, right?
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I don't understand. I don't understand how this team. I don't understand how this team. This team has no vision whatsoever. They don't have any vision.
The ones hopefully, if you can get Elway, Elway, Ellis, if you can get that whole front office out, maybe if George Payton actually is with a good owner, and by God, I don't want no Elway, nothing to do with Elway.
I don't want Jeff Bezos either. Please, no.
No Jeff Bezos.
God, the Rockies.
Whatever sports talk radio wants, just do the opposite.
And they're pining for Jeff Bezos.
Well, I told you that because they're a bunch of dumbasses. Bezos, he doesn't have the heart and soul that Pat Bowlen had. He's a bottom line guy. It's all about the numbers.
He's the Rockies guy, the Rockies owner. All he's gonna care about is the money, that sports deck, all the food and stuff. He ain't gonna care about the product on the field, unlike Pat Bowlen.
Oh yeah, it could be like you said, like a Ford situation. Yeah, just if anything, I hope that when the Broncos get an owner, it will be one that really pisses sports talk radio off. Then I know we did something magical happened and something good happened. Yeah. And I would even write, I would personally write to the organization, and I will tell them, do not let these sports talk radios, do not let them sabotage your organization. I would say anything that they say, count on doing the opposite, and you'll be better off.
And I counted on John Elway and then bringing Alexander Johnson back, and look, I was right again.
Of course.
So,
of course.
You brought him back over Phil Lindsay. Yep, you brought him back over Whatever.
The Broncos are convinced. The front office is convinced that both lines are great and that the linebacking is sufficient. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now I want to talk about Deshaun Watson.
Oh God.
Deshaun Watson. Okay. Something is going on in Texas. There's something going on there. Because it wouldn't even surprise me if Deshaun Watson ended up here, because this place is just a shit show ripe for, over the top shit show, right? This is to me, bringing in Deshaun Watson would be a train wreck in slow motion waiting to happen. But outside of that, something is really odd about going on in Houston, because this goes back to Osweiler. Do you remember when Osweiler went there? It didn't take long, and he immediately was into it with Bill O'Brien, and something weird then with the organ. It just all went south real fast. There is, in my opinion, something going on with over in Houston. I don't know what it is, but it's something. I still don't even really have a good handle on what the issues are exactly between.
I have a pretty good idea what's going on down there
with the handle.
So their owner, the owner of the Texans, died. I think it was a year or two ago, and John McClain. I think that's his name or whatever. He kind of took over and
kind of like a trust.
Yeah, kind of like a trust like ours. And basically what happened was Bill O'Brien, was making these stupid decisions. He had too much control, like Elway.
Yeah.
They got rid of him, and then they told Deshaun Watson that he would have a hand in the GM and coaching search. And basically they went behind his back and went and got Nick Caserio from the Patriots and David Kolby, who
because he was under contract, right? He was under contract.
And so now these sexual assault cases have been coming out lately. I think that is to diminish Deshaun Watson's trade value.
I find that very convenient. A little too convenient for me, my liking. Do you think these would have came out if everything was rosy and sunshine over in?
Nope.
Yeah, they're almost in a he said she said kind of a.
It's the same thing as the Broncos. It's the same old bullshit. It's the same old bullshit. So you're gonna bring Deshaun Watson over to an organization similar to the Houston Texans. How dare you say that?
Well, and you expect Deshaun Watson to end up being happy, especially. Well, yeah, and then being back in this, that's just it. I was the first one to say that when this ownership comes and you got Watson, it'd be understandable that he would float out, because most of his contract would be chewed up, that we'd be in the same place the Texans are in.
You don't think that Philip Lindsay's going to tell Deshaun Watson about this organization? Oh, the two teams that Deshaun Watson has picked is the Broncos and the 49ers. You don't think that Philip Lindsay's going to tell him how shit of an organization this is right now, the same as the Houston Texans?
Oh, they didn't talk about that at Sports Talk.
No, they won't. No, they won't, because they're all jackasses and dumbasses. They're talking points from Elway.
Yeah. So that's funny. Yeah. Well, he better not let the Texans know, because the Texans would probably say, yeah, we'll show you. We're going to put you in a similar situation. However, though, San Francisco would be, from the Texans' point of view, probably a better situation, because if they can get Garoppolo, he's a Patriot guy, isn't he?
Yes, he is a Patriot guy.
Yeah, but you said that the San Francisco isn't willing to give up because they're
not going to give up.
They're an organization that has their shit together, right?
Yeah. A guy, Shanahan, that's a well-oiled machine. Adam Peters, nobody knows about him, so it's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah. What a shit show, huh?
This is a shit show. I mean, we both saw this coming. Well, let me say, you saw this coming. We all saw that they're going to build this team through the outward in. Okay, you bring in Ronald Darby, now you bring in Kyle Fuller. And then you bring in you overpay for Justin. Yeah, you overpay for Justin Simmons. Okay, you let Kareem Jackson go. Who's your replacement for Kareem Jackson? Trey Marshall? Will Parks?
Will Parks is probably the way they're going to go.
I like Will Parks. I like Will Parks a lot. I think he's a Swiss Army knife type of player. But you could bring him back on a one-year contract and draft and develop. Oh, they're not going to do that. You know, they're going to go after the quarterback. They're going to probably go after another tight end, I've been hearing, another running back. You know, they're just going to go get all these skill position players and have no defensive line, have no offensive line, and no linebackers. So expect Josie Jewell and Alexander Johnson to be your linebackers next year when you could have got a Micah Parsons or a Collins, that guy that you wanted. You know, you have Anthony Walker going to the Eagles. You have Jayon Brown. Jayon Brown went back to the Tennessee Titans for a one-year contract. You couldn't get that guy who's 26, a guy that I wanted? No, you don't know anything about football.
No, he wasn't out there. He wasn't out there.
There's nobody in free agency.
There wasn't anybody in free agency. Yeah. No. Now,
there's no.
Do you think that's the next year eyes will be on Simmons?
Oh, my eyes have been on him for 3 years. He sucks. He's not a top 10. He's not. No. You know what? They're not going to. What happens
if he starts slumping again? He's slumping.
They won't say it. They won't admit it. They're not going to admit that we were right. I've been right all along about this guy, Justin Simmons. Now, can I just say this? I love Justin Simmons. I think he's a good player, but man, he's no Troy Polamalu. Man, he's no